Hey, Steve Gamache here for Chef Knives to Go, and we've got a knife here that's got a mirror polish, so we'll try not to blind you with the lights here, but it is the Hatsukokoro Sunaarashi VG10 Kurozome Gyuto 210mm knife. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly. This knife has quite the polish, as you can see. It's got a Damascus finish. It has some acid etching as well, so we'll take a look at the construction and weight and dimensions. Keep in mind the dimensions and weights can vary just a little bit from knife to knife. So the core steel on this is VG10 full stainless steel, heat treats 60 to 61 Rockwell. That kitchen steel is used in a lot of different knife lines, and it's quite proven, so it's a good quality kitchen steel or kitchen knife steel. The construction is a multi-layered stainless, soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel. Again, this is a polished finish on it, but there's your cladding and core edge there peeking out. There's your layers. It's a dark knife. It's actually got a kind of a darker finish to it, so that's not like an optical effect here, but it's got a lot of polish to it as well. The weight on this knife is 132 grams or 4.7 ounces. Edge length is 218, so it's a little oversized. Got some length to it. About 8.6 inches on the cutting edge. And the overall length is about 360 millimeters or 14.2 inches with this handle. These are thin knives. They're pretty stiff despite the thinness. They've got a little flex, but not bad. Got about 2 millimeters thick on the spine at the back and about 1.7 halfway down. They're not that thick anyway, so there's not a whole lot of taper of the thickness, but the grind, there's not a definite grind here. It's just kind of a convex grind down to the edge. Again, it's a fairly thin knife, but they've ground the tip nice and thin, so the performance should be really good on these. Here's the back of the blade, the choil shot, and you can see again it's a thin knife and thin at the edge, so performance should be very, very good. The let's see here, that's the spine. Height is 46.4 millimeters, so got plenty of tallness there, you know, for your fingers. Board clearance. They've got a pretty kind of quick, it is rounded, but a kind of a quickie round off from the choil into the neck, and the neck's almost as wide as the handle, so it's a pretty good spot for your finger for a pinch grip there. So it pinches pretty nicely. The handle is octagonal wenge with a black buffalo horn ferrule. Wenge is pretty cool because every handle is going to be a little different. It's got a lot of different figures and tones to it. And they've done a good glue up job here where the tang goes into the handle, so that's sealed nicely. Nice fit and finish there. Wenge is a little heavier, not wenge, excuse me, is a little heavier wood, so that's going to bring the balance point back a little bit. So the balance point on this one is right about there, a little bit in front of the choil. In terms of a pinch grip, it's a little bit behind my pinch point, so it's a tad handle heavy, but not bad. It's a light knife, so it's still quite neutral, so it's not bad at all. Fit and finish is very, very good on this. Let's get a close-up without trying to blast you here, but I'm just going to have to do this to show you the layers. And then there is a etched kanji and name on the steel on the right side of the blade. Again, there's your layers, there's your cladding. It's got an acid etch to it, so the different metals will have different tones to them. There's the left side of the blade. They've polished the spine nicely. They've polished the choil nicely. Out of the box edge, the back half was not as sharp as the front half. I'm going to give it a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. Probably about a 5 out of 10. This will definitely get quite sharp if you do your job, so you might need to touch these up a little bit. Out of the box. Well, let's take a look at the cutting board profile. So you can see this is just kind of a gentle belly all the way down. It doesn't have a big old flat spot. So it just kind of rolls into that. And it just kind of rocks right into that heel. So I guess you could chop a little bit towards the back, but there's not a lot of flat there. Fairly aggressive belly towards the tip, so I can get right in there before the tip starts digging in. So this should rock pretty nicely on medium small stuff. Push-pull cuts, glide cuts would be no problem. Maybe a little bit of chopping at the back, but it's got a fairly kind of rocky-poly kind of edge profile to it. So if you're looking for something all stainless with a rather unique finish, it's got a lot of character to the finish. Thin, should perform very nicely. This is the Hatsukokoro Sunaarashi VG10 Kurozome Gyuto 210mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.